am the Frugal Girl Guru and welcome to my YouTube channel. So on this channel, guys, this is my very first video. I'm very excited, but we're going to be talking about finances, okay? Finance in minutes, figuring out our finances, how we are going to stretch our dollars. A lot of us are stuck in the paycheck to paycheck cycle, and it is hard to break from that. And sometimes you could do everything right and still find yourself in that situation. For example, I attended college, got a professional career, and still, found myself with a job where I was making moderate, and in some cases, some considered low income. And that's a teaching profession. And if you're a teacher out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about, especially if you are a single income household. So that's not very much to go on and to live on. So, and with the teacher profession, we're like the we're like the cable bill, the government's cable bill. Okay, like when you're in a financial bind, the first thing you cut is the cable. Yeah, that's education. We tend to be the first to cut when the government is in a bind. So, as a teacher, that leaves you with no raise, no time soon. So, I had to figure that out, and I had to say, okay, instead of waiting on them to give me a raise, I had to give myself a raise. And one of the ways that I realized I could do that is by managing my money and living a frugal life. So, yeah. And I used to think that being frugal meant that you were like cheap and like going to the supermarket, buying beat up cans and half rotten food, and the way they portray frugal people on TV. But I've discovered that that's not necessarily the case. Being cheap, that's being cheap. But being cheap and being frugal are two different things. Most people are cheap because, they're dealing with trauma that they faced with not having enough money. So they just make really impulsive, silly decisions in an attempt to hold on to their money, which causes them to end up spending more money. Because when you buy cheap quality things, get cheap quality services, you end up having to spend more money to make up for the cheap things that you've purchased or the cheap decisions that you made. But with frugal living, it's a little bit different than that. It's more of a proper management of your money, proper management of your finances, choosing how and where you want to spend your money, buying quality things that last for a long time so that you won't have to continue buying the same thing, and buying based on what you truly need and not just on a whim or impulse or the need to have stuff. That's more frugal living. So frugal living is more about self-control. It's being content with what you have, not always wanting the latest and the greatest, but kind of, allowing yourself to have money aside so you can borrow for yourself in case of an emergency, and properly plan for, the big events and the big things that you want to do in your life. So that's a big difference. And that's one of the things that I've learned. So I like to share that, with whoever will listen. Now, my credentials is personal experience. And I have lived in this country, in this society, in this economic environment on a low income with kids to raise, and survived and was able to turn my finances around, was able to build my credit, purchase a home, quit teaching and turn it into my side hustle instead of my main hustle, while I'm able to pursue jobs that tune into my skills. So I was able to create my businesses and leave teaching as my side hustle instead of having it as my main hustle. So I substitute teach and I do it when I want to. So that was some of the things that just managing my money and, building my credit, managing my money, living a frugal life was able to help me to do, over time. And, I'm no one special. I'm not rich, but just those little things that I implemented in my life, I want to help and share that with others so you can implement those things too. And you may not want to change your career or do something like that, but just to have money to save, have money to start investing, have money to borrow from yourself in times of an emergency instead of, having to go to a payday loan service or something like that keeps you in an unhealthy financial cycle. So those are some of the things that I talk about on my channel: how to manage money, how to where to get your credit score to purchase a home, what are some of the things that underwriters look for, or some things you need to keep in mind when planning for a home, planning for a car purchase, um, ways to save money, ways to make money, things you could do from home to make money to get you extra money, how to budget your money, the best budget that works for you, just all things financial. So if you are interested in learning how to turn your financial situation around and not live check to check, but having money to save and having money to go on trips and having money to buy the things that you want and the things that you need, then this is the channel for you. If you're perfectly fine, stuck in that paycheck to paycheck cycle, then you may not like some of the things that I have to say. Yeah. But yeah, if you want to get on board and hear one more voice telling you, hey, you can do it, especially when it comes to finances, then yeah, like, subscribe, hit that notification button, because I'll be coming out with videos every week. And guys, if you have any questions, any specific questions that you want answered, let me know in the comments. Leave a comment and let me know, some things that you're concerned about. Maybe you do want to break out of the 9-to-5 cycle. How did I do it? I can tell you exactly how I did it. How I was able to start my businesses. All those things, guys, have to do with finance. And those are some of the things that we talk about here. So glad you can join me, and hope you can stick around and make me a part of your personal finance community. All right. Have a good day.